my before run temperature. Okay, good morning guys. Alright, it's 85 degrees this morning. Hang on, let's do this. Make life easier for you. And humidity, yeah, still kind of nuts. Well, still kind of doing a recover long run thing. Only covered 8 miles, but because the first 4 miles my legs were complaining. However, my heart decided to make a workout out of it. I'll show you here in a second. Alright, 58 hours on 8 miles. That's kind of bad. Let's see if I drop VO2, because the temperature I might have. Nope, good. Holding steady. Alright, even though it was only 8 miles, average pace 8:01. Though my legs aren't getting a workout, my heart decided to get a workout instead. So, I'll go ahead and get my shower and meet you downstairs. Oh, and for those who have never ran in heat and humidity, this is what it looks like. You can see that. See the sign on my... my legs are just dripping. They're just dripping. And of course, see that? Water spots. I'm leaving... I don't know if this is coming through, but I'm leaving footprints just from the like the moisture coming off the bottom of my socks. So, and of course that's me raining on the floor. So yeah, these are definitely fun, miserable runs, but they'll definitely make running in the cold a whole lot easier. Hey guys, good morning and welcome to Saturday, long run day of week 11 of my marathon training program. Yes, as you saw this morning, it definitely did not go as planned. I'm still dealing with leg pains. About almost about a mile into it. At the bottom of my my left foot, my forefoot, I started getting this terrible cramp that I've gotten like weeks ago. One time I was just laying in bed, and I started getting it when I was running, and I was so concerned I'd end up having to turn around and call it. But that came back for some weird ass reason. I don't know why. It definitely did not make my day, and of course, just dealing with you might say, you know, the recovery pains of what I've been dealing with, and I'll be honest with you. I mean, having one bad day is one thing, but always running with this agonizing pain, like, am I hurting myself or am I prolonging my recovery? You don't necessarily know, so it's hard. And so it definitely plays a toll. It definitely plays a toll, especially when you have big goals, big dreams, and they're kind of stopping you. They just are. But before we go into that, let's go ahead and start out with our daily shot of wheatgrass. It's in the bowl again because I got a little spillover. Alright, I just don't want that on my face. I mean, flavor's not bad, I just don't feel like wearing it. But going back to my morning, and then after I get back, unbeknownst to myself, I was walking around, getting some water, getting myself squared away, go grab a shower, and I looked down, and as you saw, that yeah, I was just sweating profusely from the the humidity and the run, probably the humidity though, because I noticed every time I walked, I was leaving like moist footprints on the tile in my kitchen from the bottom of my socks. So I'm thinking, all right, you know what, let's go ahead and shoot that. And since clearly, until I edit this, I only saw life through the viewfinder, so I exactly don't know what it did catch. But my shorts were, I mean, there was a steady stream on both legs, in several places. And I wanted to share that with you guys because for those who don't have the pleasure of running in heat and humidity, yeah, you're gonna swim. When you get inside and your body starts to cool down or catch up with you. That seems to be like, for me, that seems to be like when the sweat really shows up. It's like, because now you don't have wind in your face, keeping your air dry. And so yeah, I was definitely swimming in my clothes this morning. So fun on that. Anyhow, I don't have a lot to show you because clearly today's run was a little short. And I really don't have an apples to apples per se from last week. So we'll go ahead and just show you what we've got. This morning I only ran 8.06 miles. Spent just over an hour doing it. That's fine. This is still good for cardio. Average pace overall was 8:02. I was trying to hold 8, but you'll see here in a moment what happened. Spent 900 calories doing so, and Garmin and Google were pretty much on track. Although, yes, it didn't feel like 87. I think Garmin said it felt like 91. Although Garmin definitely gives me the humidity because I think Google said 51 and these guys say 55. Needless to say, 80, 84, 85, but 50% humidity, simply not fun. So anyhow, you come down here and everything's looking pretty good. I'm happy to see that although my legs weren't exactly having a great time, at least my cadence was very flat. See this on the last line here? My cadence was very flat at 182. I'm happy with that. I really am, because at least it tells me that, again, improvement is being made. Although, if we come up here to the blue, you see that my speed did vary a little bit. I mean, not so much here, but even here when I decided my last mile, I'm thinking, all right, you know what? Let's see what we got in a sense per se. But my cadence didn't change, so that's fine. Coming down here, first mile was 8:40. Average pace was 8:51. I just kind of nicely rolled into that. Mile 2 was 8:05, so I was just 5 seconds slower than my intended pace. And then of course I brought it down mile 3 here. Mile 3 I've highlighted for one reason, because that was technically the last mile that I was running at an 8-minute pace on a 155 or less heart rate. And that 155 and 8-minute pace seems to be my magic number. It's something I've done for years, and just trying to get back in the game has been a little challenge. Coming to mile 4, then of course this is the last mile. I saw 150 anything, just a few seconds under 8. And then after that, for whatever reason, the body just doesn't like to do 8. I don't know why. Although the heart sure likes to complain about it. And you can see 163, 163, brought up to 166. And then my last complete mile, what I did here was coming back, and coming back, sometimes I like to have this little inner dialogue with myself. And although the legs were kind of complaining, and to be honest, going back here real quick, I think the reason, what mile is this? 5? Yeah, mile 5. I think the reason why I started breaking down into the 150 range even more after about during mile 5 is because it takes about 4 or 5 miles, at least for me today, for the endorphins to kick in and for the leg pains to go away. So at that point, when I'm not feeling that stress every time my foot hits the ground, a part of my body is like, dude, let's go. And so without wanting to injure myself, and yes, I understand I kept the run short today, not exactly my goal, but during mile 8, my body per se was like, come on, let's see what we got. And the heart's like, hey, let's do it. And just because the legs are screaming like girls doesn't mean we can't have fun during our last mile. And so we decided to open it up a little bit. They had their fun, and then we could just kind of chill back out. And so that's why coming here, best pace was 7:19. Average overall was 7:36. With my average pace total 7:42. And so that's kind of how, of course, and then of course the last mile the last 600ths of a mile, which as we know is about 100 yards, 100 meters. That came out to 7:32. So I mean, I was just slowly picking up pace, just slowly bringing it up. And so that was kind of it. Stride length is not too bad. Calories per mile, not fun, but with the heat, I understand. And so that was it. And so just to be clear, when I have this little inner dialogue and I talk about legs, my body's like, oh, who cares if the legs are acting like girls? Just not to offend anybody. Usually guys who say, dude, you're acting like a girl, it's only because we expect more out of ourselves. We expect ourselves to be able to stand up and hold our own, per se, and not show any weakness. So that's kind of where that comes in. So it's not meant to be sexist or anything like that. And sadly, in today's day and age, you feel like you almost have to cover your ass and stuff like this, because some people get it, some people don't. So that's where that comes in. It's just inner dialogue fun, dialogue I grew up with, and so that's kind of like, in a sense, somewhat motivating for me, per se. So anyhow, what else I wanted to show you real quick was this. Although average heart rate overall was 158, maximum heart rate came out 172. The training effect came out to be 4.7. This came out to be a surprise for me, because 4.7, nothing really seemed extreme here. Nothing just did. Even the heart rate during that little bump, that's where I hit the 171 when I right. And then look at the blue. This is when sorry. You look at the blue. That's during my last mile. I decided to go and pick it up, and then I slowed it back down. My body had enough of that. Even at the peak of that, when I was hitting 719, 720, my heart rate was only 172. But maybe for whatever reason, that's how Garmin figures it out. I'm not going to worry about it. So, to a sense, although it was only 8 miles, clearly a very effective training effect, per se. So that's all I have for you today. Not much going on. For those who are starting to wonder, let's be clear. I'm a realist, though I'm a dreamer at the same time. And yes, I'm serious. I too am starting to question my capacity to turn this around in time over the next 5 or 6 weeks. I get that. Until my leg's ready to play game, play ball, it's really hard to really sit there and push the heart when the leg's like, please, really. Let's face it. I don't want to go into this race with pain. I just don't. Especially PR and pain don't seem to correlate very well. Especially for those who have run marathons, we will agree. The last 6 miles help you discover what you're made of. No questions asked. Because you could train right and you could fuel up for the first 20. Not too much problem. In all honesty, not too much problem. But those last 6, when you're totally reliant on external fuel source to get you through the game, and you're really having some inner dialogue at that point. Those last 6 are going to let you know exactly what you're made of. And those last 6, in my opinion, are probably the most damaging to your body in comparison. And that's the one thing I don't want to risk, because I can't afford to go into this damage, per se. So, again, I'll just kind of play it by ear, listen to my body, and still push hard. So anyhow, if you guys like today's video, please hit the like button down below. If you're new to the channel, be certain to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I post new videos. And if you have any questions or comments, please post them below. I'll be happy to address them. And until then, you guys have yourself a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Take care.